your host, Summer Grace, and welcome to Summer School. Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Summer School. Today's a very special episode because I've mentioned the platform that we're going to be talking about so much throughout the podcast. I normally have like a discount link and all the things, but this time we're going to do a whole episode only on HoneyBook, which is like my favorite system I've had my entire career. I got it when I was probably 19 years old. I was making no money and I still invested in HoneyBook because I knew that I needed the right systems in place to actually run a successful business. So we're going to dive into how I use HoneyBook, why it's important, why you should use it, and the fact that they're having a Black Friday sale right now. So let me pull that up. They're having a Black Friday sale for 25% off. So click the link in the show notes and you get 25% off for 2025 using Cyber 24 between November 26th and December 4th. So we'll go over that again, but I have a lot to tell you guys about. I'm going to be running through how we use HoneyBook in our business, how other people could use it, how you can use it to really grow your business and accomplish your goals and dreams. But before we dive into all of that, I want to go over some life updates since this is one of the first solo episodes of the winter season. So, just me, no guest. So yeah, life updates. Currently, still haven't given birth. If you've been following my pregnancy journey, we're probably about only 3 weeks out from that. So, it's coming up pretty soon. We are not officially on maternity leave, but when you're listening to this video, it will be our last week officially grinding really hard before taking the rest of December off to both enjoy the holidays and get ready for baby to arrive. So that's crazy. I know I've mentioned before I'm on maternity leave in the sense that I'm not shooting weddings, but we have been working probably just as hard or harder than when we were actively shooting these past couple weeks. And it's actually been super rewarding, things like getting our HoneyBook in check, getting our systems ready for the new year, finishing out the coaching program with my coaching students. So, working on the educational side of the business. There's so much to our company outside of just shooting. And even that goes into how having an organized client managing system is really important. So that's been a little bit of our life recently. I'm currently in, if you're watching on YouTube, the kids' room that once she's, 3 to 6 months old, she'll move into. And it's coming together. The crib is built. The guest bed is assembled. The kids' clothes are partially washed, so we're making progress. But yeah, definitely not ready. So I cannot wait. After this episode is aired, if you want to follow my journey on Instagram, we will officially start hopefully painting and hopefully I have some things I want to refinish and furniture I want to build. So we'll be entering that era starting December 1st, hopefully. So if you're listening, go follow along on Instagram and hopefully I'll bring you guys along that journey unless somehow I end up giving birth early. But that's enough of life updates for all of you. We're going to dive into all things HoneyBook and why you need it. And I feel like this episode is so long overdue. I feel like I literally mentioned HoneyBook in almost every episode we release. It's almost comedic. And I know I've mentioned one of my favorite things that we do inside of HoneyBook, but we're actually going to do a deep dive into the whole software. I have some notes pulled up, and you guys know me. I don't normally script much of anything on the podcast. I just yap. So I have some notes pulled up so I don't forget things. Probably going to pull up my HoneyBook as well so I can maybe even read some tools that they offer that maybe we don't even use, because I'm a creature of habit and I'm not the best at implementing more and more systems, but even how we use it, which is very simple, changed the game for us. I could not run my business without it. So we're going to dive in, and we're going to first start with talking about goals, because HoneyBook really helps you achieve big goals. I can't imagine achieving what I've achieved in my career this far without a client managing system of some sort. And with HoneyBooks, it's so simple, which is what I loved, that when I was only 18, 19 years old, starting my business had literally no bookings. So this is the story of me joining HoneyBook. I may have only been 18 years old. I think I was 19, but I was starting my business. I took this workshop class and someone mentioned you need HoneyBook. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I have the money for that. I'm not even making an income. I live in a tiny home that's like 80 square feet and maybe make $1,000 a month. Like I really roughed it to like go full time as a photographer. And I just knew I had to full send if I was going to make it because that's who I am. I know, we've talked about risk taking in the podcast before. We know that I take big risk, but genuinely, like, I took a huge risk. And even when I took that risk, I somehow put the money towards getting HoneyBook, which is, I think so many people are like, no, I'll wait till my business is making money. I'll get it in a year or two. But if you have goals, and especially if you have big goals like me, HoneyBook is essential from the start of your business because I think it comes down to even believing in yourself, believing that you are going to have the clients come and believing that you will make this business succeed and you'll make this business work. Then you need a system that supports those dreams and those goals. So to achieve big goals, you need the right systems, you need the right applications, you need the right workflows. And HoneyBook is like, to me, like step in the first 5 steps of starting your business as a photographer, a small business, creative entrepreneur. It was probably in the top 5 things I first invested in. It was HoneyBook, QuickBooks, my accountant, a website, and obviously like you need editing software. It's like Adobe, Lightroom, all those things. So those were like the 5 first things I invested in my company, like day 5 of quitting my job. And I do not regret a single thing because when I believed in myself and I wanted to accomplish these goals of being a successful like entrepreneur photographer, I had the right system in place to support that. I honestly don't know if I would have succeeded without HoneyBook because it would have been literally a hot mess. I don't like thinking about it. I'm so blessed that somehow I invested in this from day 1 of running my business because I think a lot of people, they do wait a year or 2 and they go through the bad side of having clients come through Gmail and then they're sending some contract through like DocuSign and then they're sending like a separate invoice through QuickBooks and then they're sending like a separate thing through this and it's literally a hot mess. But in HoneyBook, it's literally all in one place. So I want to tell you guys, because you've heard me say the words HoneyBook like 40 times now, a little bit more about what it is in case you've never heard about it. In simple terms, it's a client managing system that allows you to like manage inquiries, contracts, payments, so much more all in one place. It's kind of like having a personal assistant that never takes a day off because whether you're booking weddings, managing client projects, sending invoices, it simplifies all of it, which frees up so much more of your time so that you can actually be more creative, which is why I think it's really important for creative entrepreneurs to have. Whether you're a photographer, a venue owner, a DJ, a wedding videographer, you could be a music producer, you could be anything. I think this is like a wonderful system to have in place for your business. And we're going to go over some of like my favorite ways that we use it in our business. And then I'm going to pull up HoneyBook also to even just look at like maybe some of the things I'm not even using because I know that there are things that I have not yet implemented that even I need to. And so it's just crazy like how much there really is going on inside of this software that you can implement. So streamlined workflow is number 1 to me. From inquiry to delivering the final product, there's like a pipeline that you can see for all of your clients. So, I'm gonna pull this up so I can even just read it to you. So let's pull this up real quick. And if you're on YouTube, you're gonna see me like bouncing back and forth and all the in between. But let's go ahead and pull up my home page on HoneyBook. Oh my gosh, this angle on YouTube. Here we go. We're gonna pull this up full screen real quick. Da-da-da. Okay, so let's talk about the pipeline. Go into the home. Da-da-da-da. My Wi-Fi is not loving me right now, which is totally okay. So we're going to our project section and our home section. And even just in here, we have my pipeline right here. You can customize your pipeline, but I have a pipeline for almost anything: mentoring, podcasts, engagement, like shoots, weddings, all the things. And you can have your pipeline be customized. You have all your active projects. You can archive them when clients aren't working with you anymore. We have so many different ways that we're using HoneyBook inside of our business, since in my business it is a pretty multifaceted business. So we have the educational side, we have my clients, wedding clients, photo shoots, things like that. And our pipeline, just to simplify, I can tell you a pretty basic pipeline. You can have inquiry, follow-up, meetings. You can have it then move to the proposal being sent, proposal being signed, retainer being paid. Then you're in the planning process, you're editing. Say it's for the podcast, then it would go podcast, questionnaire sent, meeting booked with these people, and then podcast recorded. There's all these different pipelines you can have. I think it's absolutely incredible that you can kind of organize all of your projects inside of the software and the systems. And there's so many different ways to customize them. So just as far as that, step one, it's really nice to be able to see things like that. Step two, these aren't even steps, but just number two of a benefit of using HoneyBook. And there's literally so many benefits. So I want you guys to go look at the program, go use that Black Friday deal, go look at everything, because this is just how I use it. But this is my podcast, so we're going to talk about the ways that I love it. But invoices and contracts. If you are new in your business, or even you're not, and you for some reason are not using professional contracts or invoicing, that really can affect your client experience. So client experience is very, very much important. We've had so many people talk about it on the podcast. We've had an incredible episode with Miles Whitt-Boyer on client experience. I think we may have had one with Emily Majors, and all of these things that they talk about that lead to client experience, even things like how you send your emails, how you send your contracts and invoices, those also affect a client's experience. The last thing you want to do is make it hard for someone to book with you, because if you do, they're actually going to be less likely to book with you. If you make it hard for them to book with you, they might just book with someone else. You need to make the system of booking with you easy, seamless, simple. And with HoneyBook, you can send super easy proposals that have invoices and contracts both attached inside of them. We actually have really cool ones that are using their smart file feature, which are even more than proposals and invoices. That would be easy step one. You could just have a proposal that has an invoice and a contract, send it to your wedding clients, send it to your photo shoots. We actually have some pretty elaborate ones using their smart files instead of their legacy files, which are a little more advanced, and you can have scheduling implemented, all these things. So using their smart files, we have one for mentoring specifically that has a welcome page, it has a contract, it has selecting your package, it has a questionnaire at the end, and payment. So basically we send this one file, and the client, being whoever wants to mentor with me, can literally fill out all of that and fill out a questionnaire at the end all about their business, so that when I take the meeting with them, I actually know so much about their business, and I don't have to send that as a separate email. They get to see all of that in one easy, seamless, simple email sent to them right when they're booking. So there's so many ways you can use the invoicing and contracts, but especially if you were just starting out, I'm making it sound complicated because I'm telling you all of the amazing pros for how we use it in our business. But it's so simple. You can start with a simple contract, simple invoice, and shoot that thing over. If you use QuickBooks, you can integrate your HoneyBook into your QuickBooks to make your bookkeeping and accounting really simple as well. And I know some people that even though they use QuickBooks, they might not invoice inside of it. It's so simple just to do it inside of HoneyBook. Send that to your client, and when you do that, they actually also send automated reminders to your clients about their upcoming payments. So if you're someone who maybe has fear around money, or you don't love hounding people about paying, and you want the money, but you know that if you didn't have a system like this, you probably would just like feel bad asking people. This streamlines it. They send automated reminders when payments are due. You set the dates they're due. All of that happens by itself. Makes it so easy. Another reason we love PickTime is their like template type features. So if you're someone who maybe has team members a part of your business, or even you're just a solo entrepreneur, but even as a solo entrepreneur, you are sending very similar emails to a lot of your clients. You can create templates, you can have them be automated. But if you don't love automations, even just having them templated inside of your HoneyBook, it's one place that stores almost everything you need to run your business. So instead of having like a notes document with, I'm giving this example because this is our toxic trait in our business, is we have not fully put all of our template emails into our HoneyBook yet. And that's like one of our actual things we're trying to get to in our off season this year. But say you're like us and you're a hot mess and you have things in like note documents, you have things in spreadsheets, all these places, you can put them all in one place by having even your email templates be inside of your HoneyBook. You can title them and then you can customize from there. So say you're someone that like doesn't love the idea of templates because you're worried it's going to like automatically go out. You don't have to do it automatically. But when you go to send an email, you can just pick from a drop down of your templates and then customize it for each individual client. So it's a great way. I feel like as creatives, a lot of us don't want our business just AI automated, you know what I mean? But in this, you can still have your templates in there and you can still customize them for every client, but really make that process a lot easier and faster, which will then turn into clients booking. Your booking rates will get better because you are getting back to clients faster. You're getting back to them with more efficiency, like all of the things that help a business run. These kind of simple systems really help. I'm not even kidding. So, say you are someone that likes automations, there are a lot of automated options as well. I think a lot of artists, photographers, we might not love them, but simple things, I definitely think like there's no shame in having automated emails. And there's actually one way I think every photographer should use automated emails. So say when a client inquires and you're like, well, I'm going to get back to them fast. And then you forget for like 2 days or it's a weekend or you're traveling and you're not getting back to them for like 3 days. In HoneyBook, you can have an automated email that at least kicks back and says, hey, I am blah, blah, blah. You will hear back from me in blah, blah, blah amount of days. Thank you so much for inquiring. That is like one simple automated workflow I think every business owner should have implemented into their business. Now, say also we've used automated emails with out of office times. So when we went on our when we went on our honeymoon, we had an out of office email going out, just making everyone aware, hey, if you've contacted me during this time, we are on our honeymoon. But if you really need to reach me, you can reach whoever at blah, 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 blah. Or you don't even have to say that. You can just say, we're on the honeymoon. We'll be back. We will get back in touch with you around this date. I normally leave a phone number just in case it's an emergency and someone needs to contact me. But you don't have to do that. But yeah, they have a ton of automated workflows. So say you are someone with team members and you're down for automations. Maybe you're someone doing a lot of weddings. Maybe you're listening to this podcast and you're someone that does like 50 plus weddings a year. I don't know how you would function without a client managing system like HoneyBook. It can send follow-ups, thank you emails, reminders. It's kind of like having a free virtual assistant, if we're being honest. So yeah, the cool part about automating things is you have control of what you're choosing to automate, and HoneyBook really supports that. So you still maintain full control over your brand. All of these automations you can customize, you can put them in your language, and you can really make it a part of your process and your client experience. Clients still feel like they're getting a personalized, professional interaction, and you don't have to actually do much of that at all. And this is so important. If you've listened to the podcast at any point over this past over a year, wow, we've been doing the podcast for over a year. That's crazy. If you've listened to it over the last year or so, you know that I am pretty passionate about sustainability and growing a business you actually love and that supports you well, not just financially, but both like emotionally and in your lifestyle. So, yeah, that's something I'm really passionate about, like rest and sustainability and how to build a business that doesn't just burn you out and doesn't leave you as one of those classic statistics of a wedding photographer that only lasts like 3 to 5 years before they're done because they hate their lives. That happens in the wedding industry so much. And I don't want that to happen to any of you, which is why you need to be open to things like at least some sort of automated workflows in some capacity. You know what I mean? Or maybe you outsource. And HoneyBook is a great thing to even implement into your team members. Jake, my husband, he works full time with me. He's a HoneyBook master now. He actually responds to most of our inquiries, emails, anything that comes in from clients. And he's able to use different templates, customize them. It's if Jake can learn it, you can learn it too. And I don't mean it like that, not that he's not good at learning things, but he's a musician, he's not a photographer. So, if he can get used to things like HoneyBook, then that just goes to show how easy it is. I mean, I got HoneyBook when I was 19. I was basically a child, okay? And that's why I love it. It's so simple. There's so many client managing systems or even project managing systems and different softwares that are so complicated and hard to understand. And it's just so overwhelming. They're like too techy that it makes it basically the barrier to entry is so hard that it's like, why would I even use this in my business? It's too advanced. That's why I like HoneyBook. It's simple. You can do so many advanced things, but they format it in a way that anyone could learn. So yeah. Okay, another way that, well, we kind of talked about this with invoicing, but the seamless payment processing. So I feel like on HoneyBook, they make it really easy to get paid because clients can pay directly inside the platform. So they don't have to go to a third party. They don't have to check out in some separate place. There's so many different ways that people can pay that are offered inside of it. And like I said, they even automate the emails about when people can pay and like they remind them of the payments. So yeah, really seamless payment processing. You don't have to worry about like getting Square, like setting up a PayPal or all these things that when you first start a business, you're like, how do I do that? It's so simple. They take that headache away. Another reason and way that we use another reason I love it, but then way that we use HoneyBook, which I've actually talked about on the podcast probably like 10 times, is that you can actually, so no matter what kind of vendor you are, whether you're a wedding photographer, planner, DJ, maybe you're not a wedding vendor, maybe you're just someone listening that's a creative entrepreneur, but you most likely have a contact form on your website, a way for people to get in touch with you, put their project date, put their information about their project. My favorite thing that I implemented within my HoneyBook was using their contact form tool. And I know that sounds so simple, but most every web server platform has a way to have a contact form and it'll just send it to your Gmail or maybe of Hotmail or Yahoo connected to your website. Whatever you have, it'll send it over to your email. But you also will get a lot of things to your email as a business owner. Maybe not in the beginning, maybe you're not getting a ton of emails, but now we get so many emails, whether it's from brands, clients, my students, podcast stuff. I mean, our inbox is always popping, okay? The last thing I want is for paid clients to get mixed into that mess, okay? And even if whether you are a big company right now and you want to implement HoneyBook, or whether you're a beginner and you're like, I don't know if that's even going to bother me that it's in my Gmail, it's a great tool. So inside of HoneyBook, they have a tool, contact form tool, where you can embed the code to the contact form that's inside of HoneyBook, and you can customize it to your colors, your fonts, whatever you want, and then embed that into your website instead of using your website's contact form. This was my favorite thing that changed the game for me, because then when clients inquired, it automatically made them a project by itself inside of my HoneyBook with their date, with their names. When it comes to contracts, it can autofill a lot of that stuff. So you basically already have your client in your system. You don't have to put them in. And if you're taking them from your email because they inquired via your website and not via the HoneyBook form. And then you're inputting them into a client managing system where you're sending contracts and stuff like that. Say you spell their email wrong, or maybe you type a phone number in wrong, that client might never hear from you. They will literally not get the email because you had to, it's just one step that makes things so much riskier. So yeah, my clients, when they fill out the contact form on my website, it automatically makes them their own project inside of my HoneyBook. And then from there, I can email them. And so the way that I love it is like in the morning when I wake up, I check HoneyBook first because I think it's the most important, paid booked clients or potentially paying booking clients. And I'll see like, okay, we have 6 HoneyBook notifications. Maybe we have like 50 emails. We're going to get back to these 6 things first. These are clients. Those are emails. And so basically I'm emailing inside of my HoneyBook. I'm talking to my clients inside of my HoneyBook. I am sending the invoices. I'm basically running my whole business from inside of it. And I don't even have to put the client in the system. It literally does it for me because I embedded my contact form into my website. It's genius. If you need any examples of this, or you want to see like kind of screenshots of what I'm talking about, or you need any help embedding your contact form onto your website, honestly, I'm always an open book. DM me on Instagram. I totally will help you. But that just changed the game for me. And so also, when you have your contact form embedded onto your website through HoneyBook, it not only sends you the email inside of HoneyBook, it also sends you an email to your email that you got, this notification inside of your HoneyBook. So then you also are able to like double fact check yourself that you got back to everyone. There's no missing emails. There's no anything going to spam. There's no way to even miss a client getting in touch with you. It's foolproof. You need to set it up. I honestly don't understand when people have HoneyBook and they don't have that function set up. I'm like, what? Why not? Why not? It's one of my favorite tools. So yeah, do that. Get HoneyBook. Outside of that, a way that we don't use it this way that much, but I feel like this would be so powerful for anyone listening, is a lot of their scheduling tools. So you can sync your Google Calendar into your HoneyBook. You can do Zoom calls that are linked inside of your HoneyBook. The options are honestly like pretty endless with different scheduling tools. And I think that is really important for a lot of creative entrepreneurs, whether it's scheduling consultation calls, scheduling, timeline calls, helping people with their family photo list, whatever it is, having that seamless, easy way for your client to book a call with you, chef's kiss. But yeah, we actually, because of how dynamic our business is, I actually don't use an easy to use, calendar type thing, but I do have my HoneyBook and my Google Calendar synced. So that actually is really important for me. But yeah, since using HoneyBook, it's honestly saved me I wish I could know an actual number on this because I've had it my entire career, but it's probably saved me weeks of life, if we're being honest. The time it has saved me is crazy. I'm trying to think, if we were having to hand input everything into contracts, it's probably saved me from legal hassles too. I've never been sued, but it definitely makes that side of things a lot better. And also inside of just on that topic, which this wasn't even in my things to talk to you guys about, but on that topic, when you're sending the emails inside of HoneyBook and you're sending your contracts and the clients have their own basically project portal, say you ever did run into anything where you thought maybe there was some sort of miscommunication or issue with a client, you have all of your clients' emails you have ever sent to them in one super easy way to find portal, project place, all in one area. I mean, I can look back on what clients have emailed me, from a year ago because it's literally all just in their portal. It's not like Gmail where you're going to have to search them and scroll through 20 different threads. No, it's all right there. So say even something like that, this would help you so much. But it's genuinely saved me probably weeks of my life, maybe more. It helps me stay on top of inquiries, send out proposals faster, close way more bookings because my business looks so much more professional. And yeah, I think clients also love how seamless that process is. I've gained so much more time to be able to focus on being creative, connecting with clients, growing my business because I'm not wasting my time doing all these little things that you should never be doing in the first place. So, let's also talk about whether you are a beginner or you're scaling your business. No matter where you are in your business, I think HoneyBook can really help you grow. If you're just starting out, it's going to help you get a really good foundation to be organized and look professional, which is really important when it comes to like growing your business, client satisfaction, referrals, getting that good word of mouth, having an organized and like professional business is really going to like tip you over the top with your clients. It's going to be so good for you. And honestly, in the beginning, when people aren't expecting it, that's like the best time because they're going to be like, wow, this person, they are good. I want to book them again. They might not even expect these systems to be in place with you because your business is newer and they're just going to be blown away. It's going to help you secure so many more bookings. Now, say you've been in business for years, I think you can still easily implement something like this, like implement everything I've talked about and so much more because there's more tools. But yeah, I think getting HoneyBook, even if you've been in business and you think that you have all the right systems, you and your Excel spreadsheets are winning the game, no, don't do it. You need to have like a refined system. So yeah, HoneyBook can help you refine those systems, improve on your client experience, and help you free up more time for you to be more creative because that's what we want to do. You know what I mean? We don't want to be wasting time on business things that we don't need to be spending our time doing. So yeah, I mean, I could ramble on HoneyBook forever. I'm trying to think of even more ways that we use and love it, but I'm going to pull up for everyone before we finish chatting. I'm going to pull up HoneyBook just looking at it, you know what I mean? And I'm going to pull up all the different things they have that maybe I didn't touch on. So, oh my gosh. And the funny part is like there's like HoneyBook experts. I feel like an expert because I've been using it for so long, but I know there's people that are even more experts than me. But yeah, anyways, there is a home section, your different projects with your pipeline. There's a client section. So say any client you have, you can look up their name. If you happen to capture their number, email, anything like that, easy place to look at all your clients, your different files, your invoices, your contracts. You can have templates for all those sorts of things. If you have, different packages, say you have like an 8, 10, 12-hour package, you can have an 8, 10, 12-hour contract. Different contracts so that you're not having to retype everything and maybe you type something wrong because you are doing that. Don't do that. Set up the template inside HoneyBook. Scheduling, services, different questionnaires. I think questionnaires are awesome. Whether you're sending them to your wedding clients to get more information on their venue, their vibe, their wedding they want, maybe you're helping them with their timeline. Maybe you want to know more about their love story. Whatever you want to have questionnaires for. We use a lot of questionnaires for onboarding podcast guests, mentees, coaching students so that I can gather more information about them and they can kind of answer it on their own time. Questionnaires are an awesome thing to send. And it's so easy to just send it inside of your HoneyBook, not be typing up this weird form that you're like emailing them. I think that'd be so strange. Like, get HoneyBook. And you can even attach it into your contracts, invoices. It can be a really streamlined process, like I was talking about earlier. You can have different templates, different email templates, different packages. You can actually make your like pricing packages inside of HoneyBook and then send those inside of the platform as well instead of having like a Canva document or instead of having like a Canva link or a massive PDF. You can do all of that inside of HoneyBook as well. Different schedulers, integrations. PickTime has an integration with HoneyBook right now. So if you use PickTime, which if you listen to the podcast, you've listened to me talk about PickTime. So, there's just so many things. And the list literally goes on. There is even more inside of HoneyBook. That was just me looking at it, reading off some of the different things. There's like a new finance section where you can manage your money inside of HoneyBook. The list could literally go on. And honestly, it probably is when I talk about different systems and softwares I use. Outside of my email, because, we are emailing people that aren't wedding clients, we're emailing brands and companies and, different things like that, with the educational side of my business. Outside of my Gmail, my HoneyBook is probably the next thing I touch the most. So on a day-to-day basis, we are inside HoneyBook multiple times a day, doing whatever we're doing, whether it's emailing, talking to clients, sending contracts, sending invoices. Like, I genuinely don't know how my business would function without it. So take it from me, if you need a client managing software and you are a creative entrepreneur in any capacity, this is what you need. I genuinely don't know what else you would use. It's been a part of my business for just so long. I mean, yeah. I'm trying to even say, like, I feel like I've listed so many ways to use it, but overall, I want to touch back on the fact that client experience is essential in a creative business. Like, you want good client satisfaction and you want a good client experience. And without systems in your business, whether it be HoneyBook, whether it be having your pick time integrated with your HoneyBook, whether it be, having a good website, all these things that create the creative businesses that we own, like, if you don't have the right systems in place, it's not going to be a good experience for the people on the other end. So get the systems in place. Get HoneyBook right now for Black Friday. If you're listening during Black Friday or Cyber Monday, they're having 25% off. Let me read this deal to you because it is a good one. So anyways, if you're looking at setting big goals for your 2025 and you have big plans, you can get any annual HoneyBook plan for 25% off by going to the link in the show notes below or by using the code CYBER24 between November 26th and December 24th. So click the show notes, go to the description, just memorize the code, go download it. You are not going to want to miss this discount and you're not going to want to miss this software. I mean, like I said, I've literally been using this since I was 19 years old. So it's essential. And I don't talk about things that I don't love. Like, you guys know, I only talk about softwares or programs that I genuinely love and use all the time. And this is my number one used platform and software. So you need to get it. HoneyBook, 25% off for 2025. Click the link or use the code CYBER24. It's from November 26th to December. It's from November 26th to December 4th, 2024. Go get it. And if you, for any reason, are listening to this after the sale, you still should go get it. Click the link. I'm sure you can still go get HoneyBook for the new year. Like, you don't want to miss getting, in my opinion, the best software you need to run a successful business. Honestly, even before you worry about your presets, your editing style, like, you got to get your business under wraps. So you got to go get it. If you enjoy summer school and you enjoyed all the tips and tricks for HoneyBook, go ahead, share this with a friend, send it to a friend that needs to get organized, send it to a buddy who you think, doesn't have their business in check. Tell them to go grab HoneyBook while it's on sale because they're not going to want to miss it. I can't wait to chat with you guys next week, and go ahead, leave a review, share this with your friend, and I will catch you guys next week. Bye.